Welcome back. I finished the top of my dress and I have some pictures for you that I took during that process. So what I did was I pinned the pattern onto the fabric, of course making sure that the embroidery is always facing the right direction. And of course I had to leave some space for the seams. Then I cut the pieces out and pinned the whole thing together, and then I removed the pattern. And then I connected everything. And for this purpose I bought this 100% cotton color 919 because for some reason that matches with my dress, and I'm planning on doing this whole dress by hand because back then they didn't have sewing machines, so that would be historically accurate. This is what it looks like now. I can't really try it on because I would need someone to help me. Can't close it in the back myself. So, and this seam right behind the shoulder is a little special because when you're looking at close-ups from movie stills, then you will find that the seam seems to have a quite big shadow, so I was wondering what kind of seam that might be, and I'm not quite sure if that's the right way to do it, but I came up with this. So I'm quite proud of my stitches here. Ta-da! So this kind of seam seems to be quite old. I found a book about clothing in the Middle Ages where they already had this kind of seam. Okay, I'm going to try to explain this seam with paper. So these are the two fabrics we want to connect, and we fold this one, and then we're going to put them together like this. You can see everything, and then we sew here on this side and then here on this side. Then they are going to be connected. Hope that makes any sense. But of course we have two more seams on each side. This is the piece for under the arm that's connecting the back piece and the front piece. And as you can see, this seam is quite different. I found it in the Middle Age clothing book as well. It was called a French seam. I'm not quite sure if that's still the way it's being called, but it was referred to in the book. So as you can see, hopefully, this part here is standing out. You might know this from modern clothing where it's done a little differently. So on the outside we just see one seam, and here you have this little thingy. It's going to be ironed to one side of the fabric later. At least I'm planning to do that. So, and I will try to explain this now, but I'm not quite sure if it works with the paper. So the theory of this seam in paper, which is quite difficult, you want those two pieces to be connected, so hold them together like this and you make a seam here. So now when you look from the side, this would look like this. In the middle there would be a seam here. So now you need to do something with those loose ends. So you fold them towards the inside like this, then just wrap them together like this, yeah, and then you make another seam here. So this is as much as I could do for the top piece of my dress. It's quite simple really, and the next thing is going to be the skirt, and I tried to figure out what kind of buttons I could use because this back piece definitely needs some buttons, and the source material is it's not very much. So I found something, I think mother of pearl was used for buttons, been used for a long time. So I found these. I find them quite pretty, and they look quite good with the fabric. Got those from my mother. She said they were my grandmother's and that she didn't need them anymore. So they were a leftover of some sort, and I really like those. So if you have a look at this, I think they look really good with the fabric here. I'm going to use 5 of these, I think 5 or 6. Jane Austen quote of the day is from Emma, and I couldn't really find anything that fits the theme of this video, so I just picked one I tried to fit into. It's about Harriet. She's telling how her day was. She had hurried on as fast as possible, but then, as she was passing by the house where a young woman was making up a gown for her, she thought she would just step in and see how it went on. Very short. Hope you had fun. Bye bye.